Oh my, it's Kelly White.
Hey, it's James and Kellee.
What are you up to?
Thinking about changing the world.
Me too. We should do a show together.
What would it be about?
Let me show you.
The James and Kellee Show. Yay! Hi. Woohoo!
So
Hi,
you look like
James.
you look like you're being warm over there. You have to cuddle up and be warm.
Okay, let's just talk here. It's 25 degrees.
I
25.
haven't experienced that in years.
Yeah.
Ah!
It's
How do you like that? Is it the coldest
well,
thing for you?
it's the damnedest thing. I'm kind of getting used to it on some level.
You do. You'll get used to it.
Yeah, and in fact, tomorrow's our warm day. It's 50. Now, in LA, 50 would have just freaking killed me. Um, but for me, it's the warm day.
I
I don't know
understand.
what to say.
I
Today
lived in
I
the
get to
cold
go
for a long.
shopping.
I lived in the cold for a long time, so your colors are beautiful.
Thank you. Well, because we have fall here. I mean, I have a real pumpkin. That pumpkin back there you see behind me was from my farmer.
Obviously, you probably picked that pumpkin. Your
He
pumpkin.
did. And you look totally beachy as you should be.
Yeah, to go walk on the beach. Had a photo shoot the other day. I sent you some photos
I loved
on the beach.
everyone. Oh, people are going to
Incredible.
flip when they see these
They'll flip.
photos.
They're gonna flip. They're really amazing. Best photo ever taken. I
Oh,
think. And she's Anastasia from Canada, from Windsor, Canada, and she's a Pisces, and she just connected right away with the space here, in my garden. And one point she goes, this is weird. There are orbs all over these photos. Is this a vortex here or something? I didn't know what it was. I said, yeah, kind of a little bit of one. So
kind of a little bit. Yeah.
then I
I
went to
saw
the
them.
beach. I sent you those. Incredible. It was a magical day. People will love them. They're just incredible. And I'm wearing all this memorabilia because it literally is memorabilia because today is our day of going through our file drawers and finding stuff out.
Oh, it's going to be so
And I've been having
fun.
a great time in my attic for the past hour.
Good
Whoa!
thing.
I did make a glass of wine to get through the really
Did you?
deep parts, like childhood.
Yeah, I have a piece in there too of childhood. It's pretty funny. But
And a
first,
lot of people are asking me about the planets again.
yeah,
They watched our show. I've heard a lot of people telling people about it. It's becoming very popular,
oh,
which is
good.
great.
Yeah.
And next year we're going to have some new stuff to the show. We're going to add to, which will be really more
Oh,
popular.
it's going to be
So
so fun.
anybody who's brand new, welcome, and please let everybody know about it. It's the only way. We don't advertise or anything, so it's all
Yeah.
word of mouth. And I mean, I've always done word of mouth. I've never advertised when I was my work, and that's how you get it out. Because yeah. So Kelly, tell us what's going on astrologically, won't you, please?
Yes, I will. Well, this Friday, November 19th, we have a lunar eclipse.
Okay, let me
And
interrupt you. Yesterday, the 10th was something big, right?
yeah, well, the 10th was something big. We had a lot of planets squaring during the week.
Okay.
And as we get towards the end of the year, we have three big events. The first one is November 19th, this Friday. It's a lunar eclipse. Now, I do know that you're doing a big event this
I'm doing a
Friday,
big event this Friday at yes, I am 4 o'clock
which
Pacific time.
is a phenomenal time to be going to see an event with you because this lunar eclipse is the longest eclipse of the century. I know, right? The longest eclipse of the
Now,
century.
what does that mean?
It will last for, I think it's 3 hours and 15 minutes or something.
And why would you say that is? Is something moving slower? Is the Earth
That's
there's
a
a
good
slow?
question.
I
I
mean,
don't really know the answer to
curious.
that.
I
But,
got
but
being the Virgo. I got to look into that because this is
yeah, for some
probably going
reason,
to
it
slow
is the
down.
longest eclipse of the
Interesting.
century. And also,
What's
this
the moon in,
eclipse
Kelly? What's the moon in this
It's
Friday?
gonna this is gonna be really interesting. It's gonna be on the Taurus Scorpio axis. So it's going to be a very powerful time because this this eclipse is all about emotions. So if you take a regular full moon and then you add an eclipse of this magnitude, it's going to be a lot of chaos, a
Yeah.
lot of emotions.
Wow.
It's this all so let me say this. Eclipses are portals. They're
Right.
portals of energy. And so if you view this as a portal of what do you want to release? And what do you want to have coming? This is a time to release. This is a perfect time to release because it's in Taurus Scorpio. So it's about things that energetic bonds with people, let's say you are tied up with somebody that you don't want to, it's not working anymore. It would be a great time to release that energy. It's also
And
about
also that Scorpio is this transformation sign,
transformation. Oh,
and the Taurus being a value and
of
properties.
value.
It's also letting
Exactly.
go of what you think is important and
Yes,
worth something when it really might be emotionally worth, because you're a Scorpio
that's
Taurus.
it.
Maybe you emotionally think it's worth something, but really it isn't
That's
worth something.
so
Is that
true,
right?
so
I don't know.
true. No, you're absolutely right. And people always say, like, what do you what's a good thing to do during this period of time? And I will tell you, a good thing is to meditate. Meditations would be very powerful during this time.
Yeah. I've
And
already
just
noticed that already. I've noticed a
have
shift in
you
the past
noticed
few
that
days.
shift?
Oh, it's like opening up. It's like a curtain opening up. It's like
Oh, I
but
love that.
Friday, I'm preparing like 2 hours before the event. I'm preparing for the event because it's so powerful. I'm gonna use
Well,
the
let me tell you what I think you should do before that. So this eclipse is we say that it's on the 19th, but it begins on the 18th, that Thursday. The eclipse is like 3 in the morning on the 19th. It's like
okay.
between 1 and 3 a.m., depending on where you're located. And you will be able to see it in the United States. You'll be able to see it in the United States.
I will watch it from my backyard. I'll be able to
Watch
see
it.
it.
And guess what else? It's
And you up
next.
at the farm.
Oh, I'll definitely be watching it. And it's also next to the Pleiades clusters.
My
And
people.
your people. And so the Pleiades are all about healers. And
Yeah.
so if you're a healer out there, this is such an important time for you to really get into what you're here to do. It's so important. But one of the things I would suggest, James, that you do is put out some water and make some moon water. And then what you do is the night that, so like on that Thursday night before you go to bed or before you, when you can, put a nice thing of water, like a jug of water out or something,
I gotta write
and
that
then
down for
and put
first.
your intentions on that. What do you
Okay.
want to release? What is it that you want to do in life? What are
So
you ready
the
to let
moon
go of?
water is for its release. So fill it up, and then the next day
Yes.
you release the
You
water.
can put it in, you can wash your crystals, you can drink it, you can put it in a bath to help you release. You can water your plants with it.
So you're really programming that water.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, and that's in the evening, 18th to the 19th. Okay.
Yeah. So it's going to be a
Well,
very, very powerful, powerful time. And make sure that you remember you can look up and see the Pleiades cluster, which is really going to be a cool thing.
okay.
So exciting.
Well, I'm dressed like this because of our idea about going through the files of our past
Yes.
experiences of life. Who knew? And the glass of wine just helped me and the cup of coffee. But I went back to my memorabilia from my, I don't know where I was going to, childhood. I found a tape, but it wasn't the Leslie Flint tape. And I got to find a cassette player to play old tapes from. But I had my
Right.
very first psychic reading by Kay Ray, who predicted a lot of this. But I have great stuff, and I know you do too. So why don't you get started with the files of Kellee and James? We went through
Okay.
our house, our attic, our basement, pulled out stuff that we thought you guys would all like.
That's very true.
I'll
That's very
find it,
true.
I
I
guess.
Oh my gosh.
Or freak
Okay.
us out.
Do you want me to
Freak
start?
Yeah, start because they're
Okay.
gonna find out things about me and you they never knew before.
Okay, so I think you're going to be surprised when you hear this about me. So, everybody, most people know that I live on a farm now, as we were talking about, and I'm from Los Angeles and specifically Beverly Hills. So, if you can imagine me moving to a farm, it was a big shock. And I really did not know how I was going to adapt to living on a farm. I mean, James, we had talked about it and
Yeah.
we moved in June of 2019, and when we moved, it was every month I would fly back to LA. I'd fly back to see you, James. Because it was really hard for me to adapt to this new life. I didn't know what was happening to me. I had the new life, I had my old life, and trying to make this work. And in December of 2019, I actually went to stay with you, James, and I was staying with you in Encinitas. I was staying with you, and I was there for about 3 days. And then I received a Facebook message from my old babysitter. Hi, Marianne. Hi, Marianne. I know you're watching. You're my
Wow.
heart, Marianne. So my old babysitter sent me a Facebook request, and she said, I've looked for you for 55 years. And I found you on Facebook, and I was so happy. So we made a pact. We were going to meet. So we met while I was on that trip with you in San Diego. I met, I went to meet with Marianne, and she said, I've got something for you. And she said, I've got something that I think that will really mean something to you. So she gave me the stack of letters. Now, let me tell you about this. When I was 3 years old, I had encephalitis and I almost died, which is inflammation of the brain.
Yeah.
At the same time, my sister was 6 months old. And at the same time, my mother was dealing with my father, who was a heroin addict. So,
Wow.
a heroin addict, a 6-month-old baby,
Wow.
and me with inflammation of the brain and dying. It
Wow.
was a really hard thing. And what happened is her parents owned a farm in Indiana. And they said, we please come and we will take care of you. So we moved as a family to a farm in Indiana
So
in
you've done this
19.
before, Kelly.
So these letters that she sent me were all the letters that my mother wrote to her. And James, can you read that date? Can you see the date on that, what it says?
1961,
Well,
November 15th.
what's the date today?
November 15th.
And today is November
I gotta
15th.
go now.
Okay. I'm just saying, and these letters say the following thing. Dear Marianne, my mom is writing to her, Kelly loves the farm. Kelly's grandpa bought her 20 chickens. She's named all of her chickens. Every day Kelly goes and checks the chickens. How many eggs? Where are the eggs? Kelly planted a garden. Kelly loves the farm. We lived there for 3 years, and these are all the memories that I have of that period of time. So, Marianne, I can't thank you enough. So, how did I adapt to living on the farm? It was, I had already done it. I had done it years
And November
before.
15th, it's such validation. My God, it's such
Right.
validation.
Today, November 15th, when I looked at that, 1961, 60 years ago,
Literally
60,
60 years.
literally to this day,
Literally.
my mom was writing that note to Marianne. And God
I
bless you, Marianne. I just love you so much for keeping this for me.
I noticed a lot of the comments people asking for readings and psychic stuff. So a lot of new people. We don't do readings here, but we do them on our website. So
Mhm.
kellywhite.com, betproduct.com. I don't personally do them anymore, but I have practitioners that I tested myself, and they're all very, very talented. They're healers, psychics, mediums, numerologists. They're all very, very good. So please check out if you have psychic questions. Please go to those websites. Tonight is all about we've been doing the show now for over a year now, right? Over a year and a half.
Over a year. Yeah.
And people asked about our memorabilia, so we thought we'd come out one night and show all of our memorabilia. Okay, so I went through
So-
files and stuff too.
Okay, good.
Where do I begin? I mean, all of these are from people. All of these were given to me or made for me by fans, people.
So pretty, James. What's your
This thing here.
favorite?
This is a dog tag that someone gave me of her husband that died.
Oh
These are
my
from
god.
people. This colorful ones was made by Tribe for me.
Oh my
Um, all
gosh.
different types of things I have, and I don't know where to begin. Lovely picture here of people that went to Brazil. My first trip to Brazil to this
Oh my
cathedral
gosh.
falls.
Wow. What year was that?
This was back in 1999, I think it is. There I am down there.
Wow.
And this lady here looks like kind of like Cher.
Uh-huh. Yes, totally. Who is that?
A really good friend of mine named Marilyn who passed over. She told me, I'm going to go, James. I said, oh, excuse me, she was 71. I'm going to go. This is over 10 years ago. I'm going to go before the change happens. Then I just today found this card that she gave me.
Oh my gosh.
And
Oh, I
it's the
love
first
it.
time I've seen her autograph since then, since she was alive. Dearest James, wishing you joy and love always. May your cup be full and overflowing. Happy birthday, much love always, Marilyn.
Oh, that's
And then I found,
lovely.
I'm gonna just, if you don't mind, I'll just jump through a bunch of this different
Jump.
stuff. I was called once to do a reading about Rock Hudson had just passed over, 1980 something. Rock Hudson, and I wrote some notes down, and I'm just going to read. I've read this, and however long he's been dead. 6 weeks after Rock Hudson's death, I received a phone call from a casting director I knew for many years as a client, and she actually was the name of her friend Bascom, and she worked in Designing Women. And I'll never forget, I went to her office once and she said, listen, can you help me out, James, please? I said, sure, for anything. Just, I have to figure out one more role between this person, this person. What do you feel? I said, this is the one right here, Delta Burke. I made Delta Burke's career. So I talked to Delta Burke, of course, just a little while ago. A friend of mine knew her. I said, so he's calling me to thank me for your career? She had no clue. Because, and it was a great lady. She's a cast director for Columbia in those days. It was called Columbia. I received her directed many years ago. Informed me that a very good friend of hers was a close associate to Rock Hudson. He had been disturbed because ever since Rock died, this man would go up to the house and feel a strange, weird experience. Feeling whatever it was walked on the property. My friend told him about me and asked if he would like to meet with me. He responded, yes. Um, huh. So then what happened was I did a seance at this West Hollywood apartment for Rock's best friend at the time. And George
Wow.
Slater, who was an actor who came in from Palm Springs with his partner. And there's people that were really close to Rock. And Rock showed up. And this was right after his passing. And he was
Wow.
furious. He was pissed. And I've never had that really like
What happened?
that level of earthboundedness. He was earthbound. He was so angry that he died of AIDS. And
Oh,
he built his whole career, this whole persona, and that this
totally.
one thing destroyed his persona.
Oh,
And he was so obsessed about that. And he wouldn't stop among all his friends. He was talking about like, and it was really interesting. And I said, no, you're going to help people. This is going to help people. Let's turn around. It's going to help it. He couldn't understand it's going to help people. And he worked so hard his whole life of that persona, of building up that. And
wow.
he thought it was embarrassing. So he was stuck in that mindset until we did this reading and we really helped him. And I will say probably for about a month after that, he was still kind of there. So I just said, everyone just send thoughts about, what this is really about and about the bigger picture. So that was my Rock Hudson story.
I mean, he really did help change the world with that,
He
actually.
certainly did. And Elizabeth Taylor, who jumped on the
Wow.
bandwagon after him with
Right.
her
Oh,
association.
James, I have chills. That's amazing.
And that was when
Wonder
I was
if you have
working
a
on.
dream about him. I wonder if he comes through on some level.
Sometimes I have dreams about celebrities I've read before. And I have. I told you about Audrey Meadows.
Was
She
a
was a
great story.
great client. And she said at a banquet, I remember, and she was up at a dais, and I was all the way in the back. They were honoring her, and she stood up and she looked at me and she pointed. She didn't say anything, just pointed, acknowledged it.
Oh,
So,
isn't that
so
amazing?
go on, Kelly, your turn.
Okay, so
Go.
I have this special heart rock. Can you see it?
Yeah.
And you gave it to me.
Did I?
You did. We were at the beach on St. Thomas, in St.
Uh,
Thomas, and we were walking, and you picked it up and you said, "This is for you," and I kept it.
I remember. Wow.
Oh, I have to show you this too. Well, you probably can't see it, but that's my sister and I on the farm
Wow.
in
How
Indiana.
funny.
Is that funny?
Funny.
So funny. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, well, let me show you this. I have two things that I'll show you quickly too, which are some
I
of
have a
my
whole desk load, so hurry up.
okay. I have my mom and dad's memorials, which
I see
I
your mom, Maury. Oh,
see
your
my
dad's
mom's.
great.
Oh, so
Oh, I'm
great.
so happy.
I
They're so
mean,
happy now.
there was
She's making
something
more
else.
music, and she's helping people's minds.
Oh, totally. Totally. So, okay, go
So
ahead.
listen,
You show me.
I was on a TV show called what was it called? The NBC show.
Oh, that one.
That one with Will Smith. I can't remember. Anyway, I got so much mail. There's a picture of me. I have old publicity stills of me sitting with boxes of mail that I got. And anyway, I kept a lot of it. People would
Yeah.
be surprised, but I kept special ones. And this was one I got. Look at this.
Okay. I in my father's home are many mansions. Oh.
In my father's home are many mansions. I hope yours is next to mine. James,
Oh.
James, we may not meet again this side of heaven, but I look forward to reuniting with you there. Thank you for your healing compassion and helping me on my journey. God bless you always, Jane. P.S. I get it. Honest, I do.
Oh my God. That Jane Meadows?
No, this is a Jane from one of my classes, just from a
Oh,
girl in my class. But it
how
was such a nice.
sweet.
She was a real heady person, left brain, control freak, and broke it down and brought it back up, and it just changed her life. So
Wow.
yeah.
I have to read you one of the comments. Cynthia Rogers says, I feel we are intruding on their personal conversations.
No, this is
It's
for you
okay.
guys.
This
You
is
guys don't think I might
perfect.
plot for me. No, it's for you
And
guys.
by the way, this is how we talk on a personal
This
level.
is how I talk. So you're gonna.
Exactly. Oh my gosh.
There's this little stud that I found somewhere in Mykonos.
Oh
Now,
my God, you look so great.
look at that great
Oh my
Santorini.
gosh.
Excuse me, it's Santorini. When I used to do the first two cruises, that was
Oh,
a Greek island cruise. I stayed afterwards and did that. I knew I looked like Tom Selleck. I'm like
what?
so hot.
So were you with Ron and George on that
Ron George after our trip to the
one? Oh,
Greek islands. Yeah.
so great.
Okay. You
So
go,
much
Kelly.
fun. Okay, so this is one of my all-time favorites. So I should say this. When I lived in LA, we've evacuated 5 times from fires. And so I had to gather up my favorite things because we were always having to evacuate. So and this was one of them. It was my grandmother's little address book. And it
Oh
has all of
wow.
her cousins and her parents and everybody's name and number in there. Isn't that amazing?
Wow. How cool
So
is
it's
that?
very cool. So this is one of the things that I would take with me if there was a fire.
I had my life is with people for 40 years. So this is from a student of mine who was in my in-person class or a weekend workshop, whatever, New Living Expo it was. And he wrote this to me afterwards. And he's on kind of the spectrum,
Spectrum.
I think.
Uh-huh.
Yes, so kind of a genius. And he came up with these jokes. Oh, some people might have heard them before. How do you make holy water?
How?
You boil the hell out of it.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah. How come Buddhist monks don't like vacuum cleaners?
How come?
Because there are too many attachments.
Okay, wait a minute. That's just Dr. Shirley one. That's really funny.
How do you tell the sex of a chromosome?
How?
You pull down its genes.
Who wrote this? Your friend?
Peter Riley, he was a student and he was a
He's
participant.
funny.
Funny guy. For quite the whole weekend, they came out with this and like, you are a genius. Did you hear about the two identical twin witches?
No, what?
No one can tell which witch is which.
Oh, very
Why
cute.
Why was the witch in such a hurry to go on the computer?
Why?
She wanted to go on spell check.
That's cute. Those are funny.
Yeah.
I like those. Okay. I have to show you these because these are fun. These are fun. So most people know my husband was with Neil Diamond for years, and I had all of these all access passes
Oh,
that I
great.
could wear, around your lantern, whatever they're called,
Yeah.
that you wear around your neck.
Sure.
I have a ton of them, and they were all access. And Don used to say to me, be careful because somebody's going to rip those off your neck. And I would say, from this crowd, I'm a little confused. Oh, okay.
Sweet Caroline.
It was very
Poor
funny.
Don. He must go to bed already with a song in his head. God bless him.
Oh, but I will say that Don gave me this necklace, which is one of my favorites, and it's a fire heart opal, and he bought it in Australia for me, and I
Wow.
just love it. So my favorite was today as I was getting dressed, he said, "Oh, where did you get that necklace?" From you.
I found my oral photo you talked about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, you found it.
Yeah.
James. Okay, so that was I have to find mine. That was so funny.
Energy, that's spiritual with the
Oh,
white and the purple.
oh my
That's
God.
philosophy,
That was such a
guide.
great one. That
Yeah.
was after you had just gotten off stage and you were doing all
Yep.
those readings. It was a
Yep.
phenomenal.
Well,
I'm so
you see,
glad you found it.
you see spirit around. So yeah, you can.
Oh yeah. Oh, I've got mine under my computer, I think.
Okay, next. I
Okay.
found my report cards from Sacred Heart School when I was in second grade.
Okay, how did you do in school? Let's see.
Well, isn't
Ooh,
it interesting now looking back when I was in second grade?
okay.
Christian attitudes. So I think it's hysterical that these nuns could give a shit because they wrote nothing. Those columns are empty. God shows reference to the church, nothing there. Is attentive during prayer, nothing there. Participates in religious classes, nothing there. And then there's self, receives responsibility, nothing. Shows gratitude, shows nothing. Begins complete work on time, nothing. Others, works and plays with others, nothing. Be kind to others, thoughtful, nothing was there.
Nothing?
Communicating arts, B+, speaking B+, creative writing B, spelling B. I was a B student, a B+ student. What was that year? That was my second grade.
Oh, that's okay. Wait,
8 years of school.
8 years of school.
Catholic school.
Okay, so
That's when I was reading this one where it
okay,
says
let's see.
this was in 5th grade, I think it was, or 5th or 6th grade. And then they changed it up a little bit here, language and mathematics.
Oh, okay.
B in Christian doctrine, whatever that was. Reading, never didn't get anything. Mathematics, S and minuses, but never good. That's S, satisfactory in science, S and everything else. Nothing about well-being, nothing about all that crap. No, ever study happens, nothing to finish any of that. But the best one is a teacher comments.
Okay.
Needs more concentration. Needs more effort concentrating. Much to look, many possibilities for the future.
I bet they have no idea.
Being happy Jews dead. You know that a couple of nuns are dead. A couple of nuns came through to me after they died.
Did
Yeah,
they? Did they apologize?
No.
Oh,
Wow, this is my first grade, 6 years old. My first grade, 6 years old. When I saw the boy come through a window, my very first clairvoyant experience, when a boy came through a window, and I was sitting there, at home. I'll never forget this. And he gave me a drawing of um. He gave me this drawing. Let's see if I have it.
Okay.
I might have it. I think
And this is when you
so.
were 6.
I was 6 years old. I was in
Okay.
first grade, and I was sitting there. It was during I don't know. You put your head down at the desk
Yeah.
and rest. You get your cookies and milk. And I
Yeah.
remember speaking, and I knew it was from Civil War time. I knew this guy. And I think his name was Marky or something. He goes, "How did you?" I'm like, "I know you." And he goes, "Yes, here." And he gave me a symbol of something. So what is it? He goes, "You don't know it now, but later you will." And I never forgot that symbol. And then when I was writing this book, Growing Up in Heaven,
Oh, you get one of my favorites.
that symbol came back to me, and it was what the soul looks like.
Oh, oh my gosh,
It's the
James.
sacred geometry, 144 square.
Oh,
Your soul.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And that's what he gave you?
That's he showed me that design, and I remember I went home and I drew it out for my mother.
Were
Interesting.
you scared ever?
No, I was really scared. You know what I was scared of? I was scared, not scared, but I was concerned. At night when I go to sleep, I'd see lights in people's faces around me. That I would see.
Yeah,
Did you have that too?
I did. It was always a little scary. Well, when I was growing up, we lived in a house that was built like in 1920 or something, and there was a speakeasy. So I was always seeing things, and it was always scary.
So it was always scary.
For me, it
Oh,
was, yeah. And then I got used to it, kind of, and then um,
wow.
those things would happen. Oh, I have to show you. Guess what I have? James, you gave me this. You gave me this. You gave one to me, one
Yes.
to
Magic wand. Is there
Mavis
magic
Patilla,
wand?
and you. This is my
Harry
abric.
Potter wand.
Oh my God! So if I have to, make sure everything is going well, I take this out and I put some abracadabra on it, and
It's,
I love this.
it's pretty good.
And wait, didn't you get this in Salem?
I got that in Salem, Massachusetts. Tony Stockwell and I were going through the Salem. We came to the store. Was we got to get these, and I thought of you.
It was great fun.
It was great fun, and I have something I want to show you. Which I was
Okay.
asked to read it for share, and I
Oh
turned it down.
yes.
I turned it down because I thought, well, I'm not going to do that because I think she'd probably want to control the whole thing, and that can't happen. So I said, no, I don't think so. But what I did do
Hmm.
was then but a bunch of articles in People Magazine and Share came out when they were reading for Sunny, and that was all over there. And People Magazine had a couple of things. Here's a picture of me back when The Sixth Sense came out.
Oh wow.
That's when The Sixth Sense came
That's
out.
amazing.
Here, the short hair, and I was helping this gentleman out.
Wow.
And, yep, and it was
In People Magazine. That's great.
Magazine. Another one on the cover, Sunday's New York Times.
Wow. What was that like for you? Gone perhaps, but no less chatty.
It's hard when you have a cynical reporter and then skeptical who can't be objective, and me being
Yeah.
very open minded. Listen, I have a broadcasting degree, and
Right.
I'm very objective, but these people weren't. Here's Sharon, they're reading Sharon, and she says James got proud.
Well, she's the one that's told my mom about you. I
Yes,
mean,
that's right.
she told my mom about you. Yeah, and that was a
I
whole
mean, that's
story
something
there.
a lot
Because
of my
my
clients came through your mother. That's
Yeah,
for sure,
it's true.
largely.
It's true.
And people might not know this, but I'm just going to go through a lot of. I used to theater runs in my blood.
Yeah. Tell
So,
everybody about that because some people
well,
may not know.
I usually really was in theater in school, in high school, and then I decided to be an actor. So I used to go to major casting calls, and I
Wow.
found out my first 8x10s, my cheat sheet or my sheet to pick up my 8x10.
Okay. Okay, that is so cute. How old would you have been? Like in the early 80s?
19, 20 years old.
Oh my gosh, that is so cute. Oh,
Ugly,
James, those are
very serious.
great. How fun did you
Yeah.
find that? Oh my
That's
gosh,
awesome.
that's
I'm all
very
over
cool.
Loretta Lynn, but good friend Loretta Lynn. Love you,
Loretta
James.
Lynn. Oh, okay, that's
I have a great story
amazing.
about Loretta Lynn.
What's the story about Loretta
I was
Lynn?
in upstate Connecticut,
Okay.
and she was at the Friday. I already met her years before. We were good friends, and don't talk all the time. We catch each other. And we had this running joke: we'll catch each other on the road. So I was in Torrington, Connecticut, doing a show on a Saturday night. She was there on Friday. I found out. I did not know that. So Friday after they pull in, and there was a theater with Loretta Lynn, and then my name is underneath it. And I called her daughter and said, I'm here. Let me surprise your mom. So it's Saturday night, the night before my event, Friday was her night. I went back to her dressing room, her trailer, and knocked on the door and said, anybody home? And she goes, who is that? I said, this is James and Kellee. What are you doing there? You get in here. You've seen me without my wig and clothes, my makeup on. You come right back here.
Oh, that must have been something.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
Wow.
And we've had great moments her and I. And then come out of the dressing room, and all these people are lined up with beautiful desserts and fruit pies. And
Wow.
and she goes, James, you got me. I said, I got you ready. Ready, I got you ready. Got Loretta. She was great. She's great. So went to the stage, side of the stage, and they staged me. She goes, can you get a chair for my friend James here? So we're sitting there, and she goes, you help me now. And I said, help me, Loretta. And she was a little pain, back with pain. She was a little out of it, but she was great. Mother of country music. So they introduced her, and I helped her out on stage, gets on stage, and she does a couple of songs sitting down. And then she goes, I want y'all to meet someone special that I know. And I said, my friend, and the way she said it was hysterical. She goes, now, if you ever want to talk to your ancestors, he's the one you talk to. He's the one you go to. So my friend, James and Kellee, James, come on out here. And I was with Loretta for a while on stage, and I'm sure the musicians, but I'm like, who the hell is this guy? Because you tell him what you do. Now, he's going to be here tomorrow night, so you're going to come see him. And we kept on talking about her place that's haunted where she lives, because she's really haunted, the most haunted place I've ever been to, where I actually literally saw objectively. It was a Civil War period from 1 o'clock in the morning till 3 in the morning, and it was the afternoon, it was 1 to 3 in the morning. And there was like a hospital for Civil War soldiers, and there were nurses with pans of water and blood, and people getting legs cut off. And it was like, we're right in the middle of it. It was like, this is where the regiment
of her
was.
house.
Yeah, right.
Was this in Tennessee?
One room in particular, yes, Tennessee.
Wow.
And it's known as to be haunted, and it was. And I was very skeptical with that. But my friend Jordy, and she was freaking out too. It was pretty wild.
Oh my gosh.
So anyway, in high school, I used to act.
Okay.
So here I am as the frump.
Oh, that's very funny.
And here I was in Guys and Dolls.
Oh my gosh.
And that was me here.
Oh, how cute. Oh my gosh. You loved acting.
I won an award for this one already.
Yeah.
Hat Full of Rain.
Oh, what did you do?
About a heroin addict.
Oh boy.
I was the father.
That's amazing.
And I won an award from high school. I didn't even know I was going to win an award.
Oh
I
my
won an
God.
award, and I have somewhere the picture of the original of me on stage with it somewhere.
I have to see it. I have to see it.
I will show it to you because it's funny because I look just like the guy now.
Oh my God.
Here's some old publicity shots.
Oh, you look so great there.
1978. Look at the side chops and the turtleneck.
Too cute. So you were maybe 3 or 4 years out of high school. Oh my gosh. You look so great.
Trying to put makeup on.
Oh my gosh. Wow. But your family they all worked in theater. Oh, look how cute is
that. Yes, they did. Hold on. It's coming. They did. Here it comes. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay. So my father, the first show that I ever saw on Broadway was this show. Cactus Flower. Lauren Bacall.
Oh my gosh.
Met her. Didn't care for Lauren Bacall. But then I got to meet her replacement, Betsy Palmer.
Oh my God. Look at that.
Incredible Scorpio lady. We kept in touch many times. And then probably 25 years passed, and a friend of mine knew her daughter very well. Her daughter's a medium. And Betsy and I renewed our friendship. And she used to say to me when I was a little boy, I'll never forget it, because I used to sit on the rail, the curtain rail, the curtains. And I remember that she would come and she goes, hello, old top. Glad to see you back. I've been seeing you for 2 years, but I still knows you.
Oh.
And she was a darling, darling lady. And we had a long friendship after that. So when I saw her 20 years later, I said, hello, old friend. Glad to see you back. I'm top. So I knew that.
Oh, that's so sweet.
This is the first book I ever read about spirituality. People want to know what's the first book I ever read?
Yeah, I do. What is it? Blue-nosed witch. Oh my gosh! Did you get that in the library?
She's a little witch. She has a broom, a black cat, and a blue nose that blinks on and off. Would you take her with you trick or treating?
Oh my God!
I was like 5 years old, and I asked somebody to buy it for me.
Oh my God, that's a great one. Too cute.
And hold on, you have anything else you want to share, Kellee?
Yeah. So some people. most people probably don't know this about me, but I actually graduated from Culinary Academy. So I went to culinary school in France. And when I came back, I won first prize at the Gilroy Garlic Festival for the recipe with the most
Are you
garlic.
serious? What does
I'm
that
totally
say?
serious. It says Gilroy Garlic Festival recipe contest winner, best recipe with the most garlic. And my recipe was published in the Gilroy book, and it was ravioli, if anybody wants to know. And maybe one day I'll take a picture of it and post it.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't know. Next time you come over here, you gotta make some garlic.
Well,
'Cause
I'll tell you this, Julia Roberts, Julia Child was one of the people that let me be the winner. She really loved my ravioli. Isn't that something? I know.
you're incredible. Well, you're incredible.
Oh, thank you. I love to cook.
I gotta get this off my desk. I gotta get this off my desk.
Okay.
You have to
What
guess what
is
it is.
that? What is that?
I don't know. Take a guess.
Some file of something.
That's correct.
A file of memories. Sounds like
It's the original transcript of Talking to Heaven.
get. Oh,
That's
okay.
Talking to
Now
Heaven. That's
that's
that's the original
amazing.
transcript of Talking to Heaven.
Okay, I'm so impressed.
I have that,
That
and I have
is,
my other book, Reaching to Heaven. Yeah, the actual.
oh my gosh, because that is, I mean, this is really my favorite book of all time. Really, Talking to Heaven really was. And the other book, and then you gave me this book, The Quiet Mind, which if you don't know, everybody should have this.
And
You
Kelly, I think I gave you this. My floor is amazingly terrible right now.
let me see.
I think I gave this to you, and if I didn't, I'm going to. But
Okay.
I know you. I think you have them. Spiritual Unfoldment 1, 2, and 3. White
I
Eagle.
think is that from White Eagle? I
Yeah.
think I have them. Let's
Spiritual
see.
Unfoldment 1, which is really good for everybody. Everybody should get this, please. White Eagle was a guide that came through Grace Cook, a British medium, and pretty amazing. And they started what's called the White Eagle lodges all over the world, and people would meet and how to discover the invisible worlds and find the source of healing. So there you go.
And I have several of them, but Guidance from Silver Birch is a great one too.
Great one, Silver
Yeah.
Birch. Morris Barbinell was a medium that would bring through Silver
Yeah.
Birch. And Spiritual Unfoldment 1, 2, and 3, Mystery of Angels, and the Invisible World of Nature.
Ooh.
I used to go to the Bodhi Tree bookstore every weekend and read these books, and these are classics. Spiritual Unfoldment 3, the way to the inner mysteries. It's all about the pathways you can choose in your life, and what you honor and what you don't honor. And part of it is honoring yourself, relinquishing the lower self. Let me just read this.
Oh, please.
Right. Okay. Relinquishing the lower self. Let us arise and ascend the mountain, and from the higher planes of consciousness, witness with clearness of vision the love streaming forth upon humanity. We see the wisdom guiding all life upward toward the light. O great Spirit, eternal wisdom, may we dwell in thy life, and may thy life dwell within us. Amen.
I love it. Love it. Yeah, it's really, if you're looking for a spiritual path, these books are so helpful, and they really keep you on this.
True.
I just love it. Okay, I have to show you something too. This is one of my all-time favorites, and if I'm so grateful that you said let's do this show on memorabilia because I had forgotten
what we were talking about. That's how
it was like so perfect. Because I have this ginormous basement, and when we moved, so much of my stuff is still in the basement. So I actually had to, but fortunately, Don had a real good system of trying to find it. And I found this, and is this gorgeous? My grandmother made this in 1920. 1920, and her name is on the back, Clara.
Oh, wow.
And it's
Kelly.
been broken. Don's had to fix it a couple of times, but I just love it.
I assume it's a fish platter.
I have fish. Yeah, it's a fish platter, and I have such a fish situation. I love fish.
What's it made from? Ceramic?
It's ceramic, and imagine in 1920, the ceramic and the colors, and these are all my colors, and it's no wonder that I have a fish situation. I love fish.
I found in our little thing here, I went back to my grade school and found out that I had my little autograph.
Okay, so wait. Let's do it at the same time. Let's do it at the same time. Here you go. So James takes his out, and I'm like, oh no, I have one too. Okay, so we had in those days, because we're this almost the same age. I'm just a year older than you. We used to have everybody would have autographs, right? Autograph books.
That's right.
So I grew up in Toluca Lake, which was a real celebrity place, and my neighbor was Ron Howard, and so he signed it, Ronnie Howard, and I have everybody else that was ever anybody in Toluca Lake. I have them sign it, but it was cute to see everybody. And I actually have, even my dad signed it, my mom
I
signed
have
it.
my mother here. My mother's congratulations to my Jamie. May you walk. This is interesting. Now she was in media but didn't really know it in those days. This is June 15th, 1972. May
Okay.
you walk fast with God forever at your back. Aim high, don't settle for mediocrity. You are sure to aspire to greater things than we know. My love, prayers always, Mom.
But she was right though.
She was right. She was the one
Wow.
also that say prayers at night and say, "Mommy, who are those?" Would kneel down inside of the bed and say prayers. He was raised Catholic, and I said, "Who are those people on the end of the bed with the lights?" Like, "Oh, those are God's angels. Don't
Oh,
be afraid of them. They'll always take care of you. I have to see them all the time. They're here to take care of you."
oh. I
And
just
here's
found
another.
one. Look at this. I have to show you this. I had no idea. And this, okay, Don, I know you're watching and you're going to be floored because I didn't know this. To Kelly, best wishes, Don Knotts. Do you
Oh
remember Don
wow!
Knotts? So
Sure,
Don and
sure.
I were just talking about Don Knotts yesterday. His daughter, who is a comedian, wrote a book about her father, and I had no idea he was in this. I wouldn't have even looked except that you said to open it up. Well, I got chills everywhere. Oh, Jimmy Durante.
What?
Jimmy Durante, a pleasure.
Oh,
It's
that's great.
it's hysterical. Some of these are so. Oh, Bill Bixby. Do you remember Bill
Wow,
Bixby?
Kelly.
I'm telling you, I'm on fire. Get out the old Girl Scout handbook. Here we go.
Oh, that's hysterical. I just had. I was looking at some of these that people. And I'd read this in 1972. So, Jamie, that was my name as a kid. Jamie, I met you as a stranger. I know you as a friend. I hope we meet in heaven where friendships never end.
Oh,
Well
sweet.
done, you. Thanks, Paul. Yeah, and then let's see. If there's any others I put down here. My grandmother wrote in here. My father wrote in here.
Oh, what did your dad say?
Florida. Well, I'll see what he said. This is my friend Stephen. Florida makes oranges, and says California does too. But it takes a state like New York to make a nut like you.
I think I got a lot of "you are too good to be forgotten."
I had a lot of those kinds of things. Yes. Oh, this is from a nun to
Oh,
a very special boy with a lot of talent, Jamie. I wish you all the happiness in the world. May God love and bless you always, Sister Elizabeth.
oh. Do you remember her sister
I
Elizabeth?
do. I do remember her very, very well. Actually,
Was she a
she was so.
positive influence?
Everyone hated her, and she was a little nasty woman
Oh
who had
God.
a chip on her shoulders, obviously. But I saw through her, and I saw her kindness, and she got that I felt that from her. I saw her on a soul level. We
Wow.
saw each other that way, and I could see the hardship that she was going through, being a nun, being under that outfit, and having to live. I knew it because I had past lives with that whole thing, so I got it. I mean, I really.
You
Other
know
my
how exceptional that is that you were that young to have those feelings? That's exceptional.
I was a weird kid.
Unusual.
My favorites in my book are the favorite song. I just have to Soldier Boy, remember that? And then
Yeah.
Impossible Dream. And then my
Oh.
profession, teacher, actor, and doctor.
Well, I'd say all three.
And there I was.
Oh, how cute. So you used to wear glasses.
Oh yeah. It.
Oh my gosh. How old were you when you started wearing glasses?
7.
Wow.
7 years old. Yeah,
Oh
7 years
my
old.
gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Here's my father. Dear James, baby, best of luck in your coming years. Thinking of you always. Your dad.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there you go.
I got a one from my dad. It said, "Love and kisses to my favorite Kelly in the whole world."
Oh,
To
great.
my favorite Kelly.
And this is when I was in after the reading with after I did a reading with Cher. She went on Johnny Carson's show and she told the public because as you know, what do you call the code of ethics or
Yeah, yeah. Confidentiality.
confidentiality, and I honor that, and that's who I am. And so I never tell anybody who
Yeah.
they'd have to say it first. So she went on and mentioned it. And I was on a book tour, and I remember I was going to Atlanta, the Atlanta airport, and I got their photojournalists, camera people everywhere asking, "But share." I had to check with my publicist at times, like, can I say anything? Anyway,
Right.
out of that came People Magazine article. They did a whole big thing with me. They sent a photographer who did President Kennedy from England. This photographer, very famous photographer, they sent, and
Wow.
he took these photos, and they created this whole. I don't know. It's really amazing what they did. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, maximum medium. Wow,
Yeah, that's what I really was
jeez.
Hollywood. Yeah. Did you ever see that?
I never saw that.
Oh,
What a
great. The
great
book box we
article.
sit on at the beach. Look at that.
Not
It
too
broke.
dissimilar to what you're doing now with those pictures on the
Yeah,
beach.
very true. Yes. And then there's a picture of me in my back in my garden doing artwork.
Oh my gosh. Well, wait a minute. And the garden. So you were
And the
always into
garden,
gardens.
always in the gardening. And there's my mother.
What a great picture.
Yeah.
Oh, that's your mother?
Yeah.
Oh, what a beautiful. She's beautiful.
Isn't she beautiful?
She's got your eyes.
Well, I got her eyes.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
I have a sense of humor, I must say.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Okay. I'll show you this. I will show you this. Okay. So when I had my daughter, when I had Holiday, I had a picture like this in the hospital, and I was, I was really young. Well, I'm not young, but
Wow, look
young
at you. The
enough.
hair
I
still.
know, hair still, right? And then Holiday, when she had her baby, she did the same photo, which was so cute. Isn't that
Oh,
adorable?
that's
So we
great.
both did the same thing. So cute.
That's
One of
great.
my favorites.
Oh, that's great. I
Oh
also
my.
worked on a show in New York. I used to work. My grandfather worked on a Broadway show. My grandfather helped build the Winter Garden Theater in New York, and then
Wow.
my father worked on Broadway. It worked. There's a long story there. I won't go into it. My brother still works there. My brother's the longest living stage carpenter for the Broadway theater in history. And
That's Michael. That's amazing.
And one of the first shows I ever worked on, literally worked on, I worked during the night because I had saved money for going to school. Went to Hunter College, was Grease, the show Grease, the original Grease.
What did you do on it?
I pulled the fly. I was a flyman, which means I pulled the scenery in. So, or pull the
Wow.
scenery out, depending on, someone pulls it in, someone pulls it out. And you have to
Well,
go with the red light bulb. That's a cue. And it goes off. You pull that rope.
well,
And if
let
you
me
pull
ask
that
you
rope,
something. So that was the first Grease. Was Jeff Conaway in that?
I'm going to tell you right now who was in
Okay.
that because you're
If
going to
Jeff
flip
is
out.
on that, then this goes full
I met Jeff
circle.
there. I met Jeff. I met Jeff at Grease. He played Kinnicky.
Right.
So I met him. He was the second or third Kinnicky. But the
Mm-hmm.
first one, here it is cast. Okay. So Patty Simcox was Eileen Kristen, who I'm still in contact with, who did soap operas after that, and years later. A couple of people you wouldn't know. Um, Judy was Judy was a guy named James Canning, who played Sonny Deteria, Richard Gere. Remember that very well. Friends with
Wow.
Mara Small. Sandy Nebraska's Eileen Graff. I went to school with her brother, Richard Graff. He was my roommate.
Oh my gosh.
And Danny Zuko was played by Barry Bostwick.
Barry
So Barry
Boswick.
Bostwick and Barry Bostwick, I told the story before to you, but it's a great story about, I don't know, 8 years ago, I was doing a benefit, and I was being honored at the Wilshire Theater, among other people. And I went and spoke for 5 minutes or something, and me and a couple of the spiritual people there. And I remember I was in the green room after that, and at the buffet line getting some food, and this man, really tall man next to me, goes, "Mr. Van Prague, may I shake your hand? I'm a big fan of yours." And I looked up, and it was Barry Bostwick.
Oh my
And
gosh.
white hair, and it's just a real
So
handsome
handsome.
gentleman. And I said, "Barry," goes, "I'm so pleased to meet you." I said, "Oh, Barry." And I played 10. I said, "Barry, can I tell you something?" I said, "It's a pleasure to see you again, Barry. It's my honor to meet you again." He goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "When I was 18 years old, I pulled the ropes. I was a flyman for Greece, and you played Danny Zuko." He goes, "What, 1972?" I said, "Yes." I said,
Wow.
"And you were one of the only castmates that was kind and gracious and that would acknowledge people there." And I used to watch every one of those shows. I didn't want to play poker downstairs in the basement with the rest of that stage. And I watched
That's
all those episodes and all
amazing.
those performances, and Barry was always consistently nice.
Wow.
And it was great. And yeah, I really, and so he was shocked. He was shocked. I said, "Barry, I want to thank you for being as kind to me then, and you haven't changed. You're so kind."
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What a great
It's great when you're
story.
able to go back and do that with people and tell them how
Right.
it affect your life and that rippling effect of how,
Right.
everyone's
It's
affected by it.
so
It's true.
true. I mean, I love how everything comes full circle.
It's true.
I have to tell you, there's a comment here from Joanne Wilson. She says, "Tomorrow I'm gathering all my memorabilia and putting everything in a special box. You two are so inspiring." Good.
Well, it brings
And
back some fun memories, and it shows you how far you've come in your journey and what you went
right.
through. And it's. I think it's important. I do every once in a while. I think it's important.
It is important. It's fun to see how far you've come and the different scenarios that you found yourself in. And again, how far you've come. And with this eclipse, it's like the perfect time to be doing that. And I will show you this. I have all
Oh,
my.
Kelly, I can find something while you're doing that. Go
Okay,
ahead.
I'll do this. So, everybody, I've got all those books and everything on my bookshelves, which by the way, I copied my bookshelves from James because I love James's so much. I love them. So he gets full credit for them. And then Don had them put in for me and they're just perfect. I just love them. They were built out for me. And I have keep a lot of my favorite mementos back there. But one of my
Same.
favorite things was this. So my grandmother took my father's baby shoes and made bookends out of them. And I know. So my dad would be now in his late 90s. And
Wow.
so these were, close to 100 years old. Isn't that
Wow.
something? I
Wow.
know. I love stuff like this. And somebody asked me if I can feel energy. Yes, I can feel energy
Definitely, without a
on
doubt.
things. Yeah.
Here's one of my first graphic design ideas. I made that ad.
Oh my gosh, what is that?
That
Tell
was
us
for
what
our
that
high
is.
school program for Head Full of Rain.
Oh my gosh.
And this is from the Readers Theater group that I was in. And that's how we got advertising money. And
Oh
that
my.
was one of my first cartoons I drew.
That's you? You drew that?
I drew that. I drew that.
Wow. You're
I,
talented.
I
You were
was going to
talented back
I
then.
was going to be a commercial artist.
I
I
can
went.
see that.
I was going to go. I went to. I did an internship at a Botsford Ketchum agency, ad agency in San Francisco. In my internship, I had to go work on Norway sardines. Was a campaign.
Norway
Norway sardines.
sardines.
Easy, right? I came up with 4 different types of campaigns all by myself. And I remember one I had, it was in a grocery store. It's one of the freshest of Norway sardines. I had a rolling down the aisle, this water coming down, waves of water. And the guy sees all these, the water both sides, all these sardines are on. Anyway, they loved it so much they wanted to buy it. They wanted to have it. And they said, we talked to my professor. Listen, he's a student. It's a student, and they couldn't. They knew that, but they really wanted it, which was very interesting.
Oh my gosh.
And also, Kelly, and a lot of people don't know this, but I was going to be a singer on Broadway for a long time.
So tell us about that. I know that.
Well, I used to take voice lessons. Somebody hold me too close. Somebody hurt me too deep. Somebody hold me up short and give me support for being alive. Being alive. That's a little bit of it.
Wow.
That's Being Alive Company. That I used to go to voice lessons every Wednesday in West Side, New York, up in the Upper West Side, New York, and take voice lessons with the coach that would help a lot of these Grease characters, these actors. And that song "Being Alive," I could really belt it. I was a belter, and I used to go to huge casting calls at 9 o'clock in the morning, and they'd say, "We'll see you by 2 o'clock," and I'd walk around Manhattan, not knowing anyone, and just how I found about myself and find interesting stories and interesting people, and just wait till 2 and got there and said, okay, thanks. And that was it. And that's what it was like. The movie A Chorus Line, which everyone can see, they did a remake of Chorus Line, a documentary of it. It's pretty true. I mean, I remember those days of walking around Manhattan. And
But
those are the days. Yeah.
do you think though that when you had all those experiences that it helps you as a medium for people that are singers on the other side or that want to belt out a tune or they want to get your attention in some way musically?
Yeah, I think that I've had a lot of friends who are in that business, creatively and musically.
Yeah.
And I'm writing a musical. I've written one before. I'm doing one right now called Heaven and Earth.
Yeah.
And I think that everything is energy. Everything is that force. So it's how we use it. So as mediums, we use that to. It's a creative process. Mediumship is very creative. It's a creative art. And I put my focus, as do you, use that creative force to open ourselves up and to hear and be one and surrender, and a lot of acting, if you will, becoming that character and be able to emote, if you will, and being very emotional. So it's really, it's how we use that creative energy. And I do say it taught me to surrender. It taught me about believing in myself. It taught me that I was able to do anything I wanted to because I was walking on the streets of Manhattan, and it taught me good judgment. I was very judgment. I was patient. I was judgment on myself, knowing where I belong, where I didn't belong. Even though I ended up living in the Bowery, Lower East Side, then Hell's Kitchen, by 20 years of age. But it was a lot of life. It was a slice of life. I mean, at my door with all the prostitutes down the row, and I mean, it was an amazing slice of life. I look back, it taught me a lot. And then meeting these people in these Broadway shows, and then Yeah, it was good. And they take the voice. I took jazz and tap, and I was in all those. I worked the front door of a dance studio to pay for my classes. I worked behind the door
Wow.
to.
Wow.
Oh
So
yeah, I've done a lot.
you literally had no fear and would just go out and do.
I had no fear. I had no fear. I
Wow.
just had excitement to have the experience. And ever since I
Wow.
was a little kid, to be old enough when I was like, what, 10, 11 years old, I couldn't wait till I was old enough to get on the train to go to Manhattan to be able to experience that excitement, all of that. So I think I chose that before I came back in,
Yeah.
obviously. But and you look back at your life, you think, wow, that was I don't know how many people that could do that. Now
Yeah.
it's a whole different world. But in those days, too, in the 60s, and early 60s, it was a different time. And yeah, I wouldn't do the same things I did now. I would not do
Right.
that. It would be safe now. But
Right.
yeah, it's interesting. I think when we look back like this experience we've had tonight, looking back at our accomplishments and moments and interaction with other people. When you look at the autograph books and you see those people, you wonder whatever happened to them. Are they still
Right.
around? How did their lives turn out? I mean, how many of us have gone on Facebook and looked up old friends, see where are they?
Right.
How many of us have reunited with them? So I think it's
Right.
great. Yeah.
It's amazing. Well, life is so
And
interesting.
I have gratitude for every single moment, and I thank the
Yeah.
universe for bringing me that. And I think when one can be honest with themselves and honor
Yeah.
themselves, this is
Yeah.
what happens.
Right. Right. I agree. And this is also still National Gratitude Month. So having gratitude for everything that you've gone through, the good, the bad, the whatever,
Yeah,
gratitude.
judgment. It's just
Just
experiences. It's
experience.
just experiences. And
Right.
today on the show, I think I was talking to someone about losing a child or something, or going through a hard loss with a child, and said, "Well, oh yeah, the multiple sclerosis, I think." But that's a wise old soul that comes down
Right.
here to take on that condition of multiple sclerosis,
Right.
and leave. Thank God that obviously it was a wise soul to teach those in the soul group, right? And
Right.
then that was the lesson, that was that soul's mission this time around, was to be here 10 years of physical, to teach those in the soul group about
Yeah.
unconditional love, about judgment, about patience, about understanding.
Right.
Interesting if you look at things like that.
So, and you've been such a great teacher, James, not just to me, but to the world. I mean, such a great teacher here. And
Thank
everybody, it's so true. And everybody on Friday night, James is going to be doing an evening of spirit
you.
with
Yes.
that eclipse.
Yes. Yes.
I
You
mean,
need to go, everyone. You really
you've
need to
got
bring
to
it.
attend this. It's phenomenal. And the messages are for everybody. And they're always really super unique. And you'll get chills all over your body. It's the most amazing experience ever.
And I know this Friday, my guides have said, I'm calling not they want to call them something different than the guides, is something the council they were saying, but they have a name for themselves. I said, okay. So Friday they're going to bring that into me, and they're also going to do something different they've never done before. They said to me, and it's going to be some kind of exercise for everybody in this space that are experiencing this, and there's going to be some kind of manifestation of some kind for each person, and it'll be an exercise of some kind. I'm sure it'll be like a mental exercise, but there will be a moment there that the person that's in the show, in the space that is joining the readings, everyone in the group can sit back and speak to a loved one that they want to in front
Wow.
of them. And that's all I know about it right now. That's
Oh,
that I've been told that far. But we have to let the human part of us get out of the way. So,
yeah.
and that can work with just breath, breathing, letting go, breathing in love, letting go of fear, and just being still. Because when you're still, spirit can come in. But when you put walls up, like, come to me, I got to hear from this, you're limiting spirit. You're putting a wall up around you. We don't want to do
Right.
that. We're going to knock down the walls and be
Right.
one with everything, space
Oh my
around.
gosh, that's going to be an incredible night. I can't wait. Oh my gosh.
So,
And next week, we have a whole other topic next week. So join us next week. And James, I can't wait to see you Friday night. And I
ah,
have a show Thursday night. So if you're watching Thursday night, I'm on
what are
this
you going
Thursday.
to, can I
Ask
ask
me
you
anything.
anything? Can I
Oh, you
ask?
can ask me anything.
Okay, okay.
Go ahead, ask me anything,
Ask you anything on
especially if it
Thursday.
has to do with my autograph book from the time I was 10. It's a great one. And I want to say a
Okay, you.
shout out to Marianne, who I love, love, love Marianne. Thank you for sending me those
Thanks,
letters.
Marianne. Thanks, everybody. God bless
Thanks,
you.
everybody. Thank you, Renee. Love
Thanks.
you.
Bye bye.
You've been listening to Both Sides Now and Beyond, featuring spiritual medium and master teacher James Van Praagh and spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.
The James and Kellee Show.